This is my budget tracker app demo. It's gonna run it, and the first thing that's gonna pop up is the welcoming page, or this little screen, and you will click on the log my entry button down here, which is attached to like an action listener, which once you press this is gonna remove this one and call the method to set up the main tracker UI, which is this right here. And then you're gonna see this first message which says entries loaded successfully, and this is basically referring to the text file corresponding to our month that we're currently in right here. And you see we have salary, groceries, and then Wendy's as examples of entries. And you can see that they're here as well. We have salary, groceries, Wendy's. The first little example I'm gonna give you is, adding a new entry, a new expense to be specific. We're gonna do McDonald's as an example. Amount 25 maybe. Category food. And then date 2025 0 9. Then we're gonna do expense. So add entry, you see you get this related image, which is basically it's through the API and it's fetching this image related to the description. So whatever you are inputting here is taking that and getting the first image related to it, which in this case our description was McDonald's, and you see that we get this image. Press OK. So right now you could see that it's on the screen right here. But if you go to the file, it won't be there, right? So what you have to do is save entries. You get this little pop-up message, and here it is right here. So now, next thing I want to show is editing. If you was to edit this, let's say we want to say we got this yesterday. That's just like editing the description part of the entry. And then for amount, let's say 35. So this should change total expense to be 300 since we're doing a $10 increase, and then balance to be 1,700, right? Okay, yeah. So you got 1,700 and 300. So you see how that's reflecting here correctly, but not here because we haven't saved. Once you save, it's here again. Then if you want to delete, right, have it selected and then delete entry. So one thing I would do if I was to keep working on this is to add a little like are you sure button, because right now you just click on something and you could delete, like it just deletes it automatically. It's not really asking you are you sure you want to delete this entry. But I deleted it here, but as you can see they're still here. So if you load it, it's actually going to load from that last saved file, which has all of these. But let's say we really do mean it and we want to delete something, just save it after you deleted it, and it will also delete here. So we have that. An example for like an income instead of expense. Let's say you maybe like for some reason you got paid for volunteering. Even though, yeah, let's say volunteer, you got paid 300. Date 2025 05 09. Income, so it should go from 2,035, and then income should be 2,300. Expenses should not change. So if you go, yeah, you get the related image to the description, which was volunteer, and this is the first image they decided to pop up here through the API. And then you see that everything reflects just like I said. Again, you must click save. And once you save it, and the way it's being inputted here, you're using like incomes will come above it, then expenses are under it, and then you have the balance. It's not gonna be like mixing around or any of that. Same way it's like organized here where it's separated, it's gonna be separated here, just so that it looks more organized and stuff. And then we could look at summary report. And this is just like for an easier, more organized way of viewing everything because everything that's here you could see on the screen, like total income. It's on both sides. Total expense. So there's nothing really new information except for this last part. It's more showing you the amount of income and expenses you have. So right now we have 2 and 2, just in case, like, if we was to be using this monthly, this could fill up and you could easily see how much you have for each section. And then show you all of these buttons. If you try to add an entry with nothing in here, you're gonna get a pop-up like warning message, basically saying that these are required fields that you have to enter in. Same with the delete and edit buttons. If you don't have nothing selected right now and you try to delete, it's gonna tell you to please select something to delete. Same with the edit, the same thing. And then make sure I have. Now, lastly, the start new month. So how I was trying to explain this in class, but basically, if I was to do this right now, it's not gonna work because the whole way it's creating these files, I'm using the import for local dates, and so the ways that these file names are being created is through local date and then get month for the. So right here, you see that it's called May 2025. So if we try to create a new month, it knows that we're still in May. So that get month like method is still gonna give you May. And we know that you can't have 2 files with the same name. So that's what is basically happening here, and that's why it's failing, because you're trying to create another file called the same exact thing again, but it's not gonna work. So yeah, but in like next month, if I was to do it, the local date import is gonna be able to find that we're in the next month, June, and then it's gonna create the file name based on that. So it's gonna be entries June 2025, which will work since I don't already have an existing June file. And then, but right now, what happens if you accidentally press this while we're still in the same month? It's gonna fail, obviously, and then everything will delete, because part of like creating a new file or like moving on and clicking this button is that it thinks you're starting like new. But since no file was actually created and you want everything to come back, you simply just load the entries since it's already saved onto the file we're currently in. And yeah, that's it, and thank you.